Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to Toe Tags Metal Reviews, and today we're going to be giving you guys our first impressions of the brand new Jinjer album titled Wallflowers. So, new Jinjer has now released, and we both love this band. We've covered them tons of times on this channel at this point, and I think we've checked out 2 of the singles. One of them was Vortex.
Yep.
The other one, I forgot the name of.
And I suck at remembering things, so I don't know either.
Well, I will say Vortex was my preferred of the 2 singles. I really liked what they did with that song, how it was very jammy and very more open. It wasn't a very dense sounding song, and I liked that a lot. So, and the other one was good too. I just didn't really like it like that
What
much.
was the other video? Do you remind me what the video was like?
I really don't remember.
Why don't we remember? Wow, that's bothering me. I
mean,
usually I can remember what the video was like, and that gives me an idea of what the song sounded like, and I can never remember the name. But I can't even remember what the video was like for the second song.
Well, I think it means something that we can both remember Vortex more than the other one.
That actually means something, yeah.
We both liked that song a lot more. Anyway, I mean, we're both hyped regardless. It's Jinjer. We love this band.
For sure.
So we're going to check out Wallflowers for the very first time in its entirety, and we'll be right back to give you guys our first impressions. So stay put. And we're back. We just listened to Wallflowers for the very first time, and I guess I'll take the floor and say that there's really not that much I can say. Now, Jinjer is a really good band. This band does not make bad music. They're one of those bands.
Yeah.
But this album, it didn't really feel like there was much that felt unique. And Vile asked the question, while we were listening, like, is this kind of like alright, in general, or just by Jinjer standards?
Yeah, is this a mediocre album overall, or is this just mediocre as far as Jinjer goes? Because that's kind of what it felt like.
Yeah, because I found myself thinking of the same notes to write, and then I got to the point where I'm like, what's the point of writing that when that just feels like album standard?
Yeah.
Riffs are cool, vocal harmonies are awesome.
Complex rhythms.
Yeah.
Cool bass lines, like, you can write the same notes for every song, is basically what he's saying.
It felt like very standard Jinjer for the most part.
Very standard, very basic, if you want to use that word as far as Jinjer is concerned. We have to be very careful with the words we use, because we're using words like basic in the context of just Jinjer's discography.
Of complex music. The music's complex, but for this band, it's pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
But,
okay, so what are some things that did stand out to you? Because there's got to be something.
Well, I liked Vortex. That was the first
Vortex
single.
Too.
Vortex is really nice. I love how it started calm with that drums being really active, even though it's kind of got it really builds a nice atmosphere. Yeah. And I feel like that alone is what really makes it stand out on the album. And another song that did that was Wallflower. For some reason, that song and the name of the album, they added the plural. I don't know why. But Wallflower has a cool bass intro, and I even wrote the groove is really chill, kind of like Vortex, and I feel like that gave it a little bit of uniqueness.
I agree.
And they keep that vibe. They don't really throw it away. There was one moment in Copycat, track number 5, where at the 1 minute mark, they had this disgusting, nasty, syncopated groove, and I wanted more of that, but when they did it, they stopped doing it. Like when they stopped doing it, they didn't do it again. Yeah. And I was a bit sad, like, man, I kind of want more of that,
Yeah, there are syncopated grooves all over the album. Like, it's kind of the thing this band's known for.
But that one in that song sounded really good.
Yeah. It was juicy. Vortex was also my highest rated track. I understand why they made it a single. I think that they favored that track themselves too. Maybe they worked a little harder on that track. The chorus is catchy. Again, I'm not always one for the catchy choruses, but this one got me and I like it. It gives me some old school No Doubt vibes, which is not surprising because I'm pretty sure Tatiana has mentioned before that influence of hers is Gwen Stefani. So I hear that in there. I think that there's definitely a bit of a nod there vocally. Something that I was digging at first, and this is something I dig just in music in general, is the ghost notes. Ghost notes is something that, not a lot of bands do, and when they do it, I go, oh yeah, it's pretty cool. I like the ghost notes. They add just that little flavor. It's like putting seasoning on a food, right? Just a little extra thing there to spice it up a bit. But he just didn't stop. Every single freaking song, at least up until a certain point, the first maybe 6, 7, 8, probably the first 6, 7, 8 songs.
It's over half the album.
Ghost notes galore. Then it got to the point, and I made a note of this on track 9, where I feel like I was hearing ghost notes that might not even have been there. I'm like,
The ghost notes were haunting your ears.
That's a good way to put it. They were. But, dude, settle down a bit. Like, you don't need to do it all the time. I know people like ghost notes, and you like doing ghost notes, but too much of a good thing is a bad thing.
Mm-hmm.
So that bothered me a bit.
Excessive.
I'm hoping that that's not something that really bothers me throughout the week. Maybe I'll forgive it. Maybe I'll start overlooking it and not care too much. But on this first impressions, it was just like ghost note galore.
Well, consider that, the ghost notes aren't really that easy to hear. They're
not.
They're ghost notes for a reason. So I think that perhaps throughout listening in the week, if it's not on your mind, you might not even notice it. Because you're going to be listening to this album in different audio environments. So there's a good chance you might not even, hear them anymore or as much, unless you're like really thinking about them all week. I mean, you might have them.
Another song that stood out to me a bit was track number 7, Sleep of the Righteous. This song had a different feel to it. It's one of the songs that kind of didn't feel like typical basic Jinjer, because it had this kind of rawness to it. Like almost like rawness is probably the best way to describe it. But again, just way too many ghost notes even in this song. So I don't know. There's stuff there on this album that does make it fresh in a way, but overall we have kind of the same opinion here. This just felt like just Jinjer being Jinjer without really stepping out of their comfort zone at all.
Yeah, they didn't really.
That's a bit of a flaw.
Doesn't really feel as special because we both really enjoyed Macro, and I don't know if you listened to King of Everything, but I have, and that album is also amazing. I feel like both of those albums really have a lot of standout tracks and a lot of standout moments.
Yeah.
Whereas this one, on our first impressions, has few and far between of those moments.
Yeah. I feel like so far, again, on a first impressions, like we just said, this is probably the weakest at Jinjer's been in their career, for me. But again, this is off one listen, so who knows?
Exactly. We've only listened to it one time so far, and that's just our first impressions, but we're going to be listening to this album non-stop throughout the entire week, and we will be back next week to give you guys our final review of Wallflowers. So thank you guys for watching. Remember to like the video if you liked it, and tell us in the comments below what do you think of this album. It is brand new. Subscribe to us if you are new to the channel. I'm TV Fish.
I'm Vile Self.
We'll see you guys later.